border bloodshed and targeted killings. From Gurdaspur to Taran. Unrest on the rise in Punjab. Crime, conspiracy, or something more sinister. Lawless Punjab, top focus on 5 Live.
What exactly is happening in Punjab? There have been 32 killings. In fact, more than that, our reporters are suggesting on ground in just 3 months. These are targeted killings. People with connections, religious, political, all of that are being targeted, sometimes very close to the border as well. The situation in Punjab is now sounding alarm bells. So today on the program, we begin with trying to understand what exactly is happening there. As the show progresses, we'll move to neighbouring UP and try and understand what's happening with airports there and also big promises being made. Are they really being realised on the ground? Later on in the program, we also bring you the latest AQI check. Not in Delhi, don't worry about that. Delhi is breathing in the spring bloom at the moment, but Mumbai facing a very, very different picture. All of that on the program. I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. Is Punjab slipping into a spiral of lawlessness? 2 serving policemen were gunned down in Gurdaspur, barely a kilometre from the Pakistan border. A shadowy outfit claimed to be, or calling themselves Tehreek-e-Taliban Hindustan, claimed responsibility of the attack. That's according to the police. This was a diversion tactic by Pakistan-based handlers, perhaps AI-generated as well. But let's look at the big picture of what's happening in Punjab, because this is not an isolated event. This comes days after the killing of a Sarpanch, Harbinder Singh in Taran, the 3rd murder of an AAP-linked leader in just 2 months. Before that, there were targeted strikes in Valtoha. Again, the Taran Amritsar Gurdaspur belt has seen repeated bloodshed over the past couple of months. Gang rivalries, organized crime networks, encounter controversies, and now 2 policemen executed as well. Overall, if you look at the number, 32 encounters in just 3 months, and that's just the estimate. Our reporting team on the ground suggests that the number could actually be higher. The opposition and citizens alike are raising questions. The Bhagwant Mann government is under sharp scrutiny. With elections less than a year away, law and order is now Punjab's biggest battleground. And the question clearly is, what exactly is the reason behind this? Is this a gang warfare? Is this cross-border bloodshed? Or is the state just losing control? Let's bring you now a detailed ground report from the area.
Two police personnel were shot dead in a chilling attack in Punjab's Gurdaspur on Sunday. The 2 policemen were found dead close to a border outpost, barely a kilometre from the international border with Pakistan.
And this is the post of village Adiya in Gurdaspur, where they both found dead, and now the samples are being taken out by the forensic team. Punjab police personnel are also present to take the samples, and you can see the area around. This is the Adiya village, and CCTV here which was present seems to be broken. That is one signal which signifies that this could be an attack which is deliberately or done in a planned way.
A shadowy group calling itself Tehreek-e-Taliban Hindustan claimed responsibility for the attack. The purported message threatened uniformed personnel and tried to spread fear that such attacks against India will continue with greater intensity in the future. However, police sources have strongly refuted the existence of any terrorist organization called Tehreek-e-Taliban Hindustan. They've clarified there is no presence of any such group in Punjab or anywhere across India. Investigators believe the posters and the video could be diversionary tactics by Pakistan-based groups attempting to derail investigations. Politically, the incident has triggered a massive storm. Gurdaspur Congress Party MP termed the killings a terrorist strike and accused the Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann of being soft on anti-national elements.
वहाँ पार्लियामेंट में मैं जरूर बात करूंगा कि गुरदासपुर का एसएसपी और पंजाब का डीजीपी जो अडहॉक 3 साल से काम कर रहा है इनको इमीडिएटली रिमूव किया जाए और इनकी अकाउंटेबिलिटी फिक्स की जाए। पंजाब गवर्नमेंट नहीं करेगी क्योंकि भगवंत मान गैंगस्टरों से रला हुआ है। नेशनल एंटी नेशनल एलिमेंट से भगवंत मान रला हुआ है।
ਜਾਂਚ ਦਾ ਵਿਸ਼ਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਕੁਝ ਰਿਪੋਰਟਾਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਆਪਸ ਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਝਗੜਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਹਜੇ ਜਾਂਚ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ।
सर सुजिंदर रंधावा है, वो बोल रहे हैं सिक्योरिटी लैप्स है। इस पूरे इंसिडेंट पे आपका क्या बोलना है सर?
रंधावा के बारे में मुझे कुछ नहीं बोलना है।
Law and order in Punjab has come under sharp scrutiny after a spate of similar murders, often executed by similar targeted strikes. The cop killings come close on the heels of the gunning down of Sarpanch Harbinder Singh in Punjab's Taran and the murder of an Aam Aadmi Party leader in the past 2 months after the Sarpanch of Valtoha and Aam Aadmi Party leader Lucky Oberoi were killed. The Taran, Amritsar and Gurdaspur belt has witnessed repeated violence in the past few months. Police sources say these killings expose deepening gang rivalries and organized crime networks operating across the region. With Punjab heading into elections in the next 10 months, law and order has emerged as a key political flashpoint. Gang wars, targeted killings, encounter controversies, and now the killing of 2 serving Punjab policemen have intensified the debate over state's security framework. The big question now is whether this is an isolated criminal act, a gang retaliation, or something far more sinister. With Aman Bharadwaj and Kamaljeet Kaur Sandhu, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, Aman Bharadwaj and Kamaljeet Sindhu now join us also for the very latest on this story. Kamaljeet, let me come to you first. Help me understand the story behind what's happening in Punjab. We have targeted killings of political leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party. Then we have reports of some gang war happening. The third angle is now that there are 2 serving policemen who've been shot at inside their police post. I'm trying to understand what's the thread that joins them all. What's the story here?
Well, it's a sad state of affairs as far as Punjab is concerned, in particular law and order. Now, guns and gangsters, because remember, the number one problem for Punjab at that point of time was drugs. But now it is not just increased drugs, but it's also the guns and gangsters who seem to have a free run. And that's what's really been happening, because it started with extortion calls. But what we know is right from the days of Sidhu Moosewala, we've only seen one after the other targeted killings happening. And the spate has now really intensified, because on the radar are not only Aam Aadmi Party sarpanches but also the cops. Now there is a sinister plot for sure. There's a mystery which is deepening as far as this particular case is concerned, because is this a cross-border conspiracy? Is this a terror plot? Is this something to do with gangster network? Is it to do with drug cartel? One of the things is that yes, the weapons were not snatched away. There was a couple of cartridges of .30 bore gun which was found there, which clearly points out that they were killed in cold blood, perhaps when they were sleeping. But the other part is where we're talking about the massive CCTV cameras, anti-drones being kept there. This is a lacuna which has now been explored by these anti-nationals and the elements of these kind who've seen that the CCTV wasn't working, and that's when they actually spotted an opportunity and did that particular sort of a targeted
Kawaljeet, what are you
killing.
saying?
Now,
Are
we
you
saw a
saying
response
we are
coming
to
in from the
look
Chief
at
Minister
these
Bhagwant Mann.
instances together, saying that there's a larger story at play, or these are still isolated instances of violence and law and order crisis that we are looking at? What are you saying? It's all stitched together as one, or these are isolated instances?
One, what we're trying to tell you is that there are over 60 gangsters who are operating from Punjab, and the terror networks have joined hands with these gangsters because, remember, the weapons are coming from across the border via drones, and they have figured out that it's better to pay out money rather than send in groups to infiltrate India and then really launch an attack. And that is where, whether these gangsters are operating through extortion or through cutout modes where they use youngsters to, and they're recruited through social media. So this is actually gone much out of control. The other part is obviously something which we've observed over the past few years is that the gangsters who were perhaps operating from Uttar Pradesh or Delhi eventually moved to Haryana and Punjab, and this is where they continue to operate. And remember, several of the gangsters who have their masterminds in Europe or Western places or even in America and Canada, they continue to operate from there, and that seems to be a cause of concern because remember, they're not able to get to the masterminds. Few recruits are caught or killed. Then there's a fresh crop of new youngsters who come in, and money is a big lucrative offer for these particular youngsters. They may not have a past antecedent, but these are people who are the first time shooters, and these are the ones who are actually dangerous because they don't come in the radar. So a whole lot of things are really happening, amplified by social media recruitment. But meanwhile, it is also Punjab police which seems to be under a lot of pressure at this point of time, because remember, one after the other, whether it's a Gurdwara, whether it is a bus, whether it's a car. Now, what we're talking about, even those policemen who are resting at home or in their own particular chowki, they are the ones who are targeted, which obviously gives much ammunition to the opposition parties to call out the law and order mess which Punjab currently is in.
Yeah, right. And what particularly struck me is that, and my colleague Aman Bharadwaj is also with us. Aman, when Kawaljeet was asking that question to Bhagwant Mann, he chose not to respond. There was almost like a hitch over there. There's probably, the little said the better about these gangs who are targeting politicians, at least. That seemed to be the case to me. But give me a sense of what's happening where you are, where cops have been targeted. I see a lot of commotion behind you as well. Were they completely caught off guard? How exactly is the investigation proceeding on this one?
See, let me come to the question that you asked, that Bhagwant Mann chose not to answer because it's not for the first time. In previous years we have seen, and that is the only problem that this government is facing, that there's no clear-cut answer with the government and there's no solution practically on the ground. And that is the reason in last 4 years we have seen kabaddi players like Sandeep Singh Nangalambiya, Rana Balachoria, singers like Sidhu Moosewala, and most of the things like migration to the foreign places, then unemployment. And previously the Aam Aadmi Party, because it's the first party to come in power in Punjab, and since 1947 Punjab has witnessed instability, whether it after 47 it was 80s, 90s, militancy time. Then the government that came into power, they gave for their individual benefits. When Akali Dal was there, Congress was there, they are basically alleged that they, for their own purposes, for their own support, they misguided youth, they used them for politically, and that was the reason that in that of the time, in last 20 years, migration, drugs is the reason that affected Punjab. And right behind me is the same checkpost which you see now is tied with this crime scene ribbons, and it is hardly at 1 kilometer from Pakistan international border. And here BSF or the Punjab police jointly monitors the situation, and this was the right place when both the policemen, one ASA, Gurnam Singh, and other Ashok Kumar, they were shot dead. And there you see is the CCTV. Both the CCTV are damaged from last 1 month. So this is the question that needs to be asked from the government or the Aam Aadmi Party, that since from last 1 month, what SSP Aditya Sharma was doing, what DGP Gaurav Yadav was doing, they should see the practicality on the ground that their CCTVs are not working. And since this policemen are shot, people here in the villages, they are feeling insecure. So here, no senior official, you see whether it's a political figure from Aam Aadmi Party or DGP Gaurav Yadav or any other official, they have not visited here, they have not assured people regarding the safety and security. So these are the conditions that makes law and order in Punjab more concerning. That who will be going to ask, because whether it's Aam Aadmi Party or Akali Dal or Congress, they only, the blame game is on. And they only alleges center.
Fair to say from both what Aman is saying,
and other agencies.
Right. Get your point, Aman. Fair to say that both what we are hearing from Aman and Kanwalji, there is an atmosphere of fear that's unfolding in Punjab, and that those numbers of targeted killings are only going up now. Even cops on duty not spared. So clearly something larger at play here. We wait to see how the government actually cracks down on them and gives us an answer on what exactly is unfolding in Punjab. All right, let's switch tracks to what's happening in the metros now. Delhi is finally breathing a sigh of relief. Spring is in the bloom. You can finally step out, go for a run and not feel like you're sort of inhaling a chemical experiment altogether. But while Delhi breathes a sigh of relief, Mumbai is gasping. Over the weekend, social media was buzzing with blurry skylines, hazy sunsets, people asking, is this really the city of sea breeze? AQI in parts of Delhi has been touching 250, 300. Imagine, this is Mumbai, not Delhi. That is not a vibe, that is very, very poor air. The reasons are not mysterious. We all know that by now. Construction at full throttle, metro, coastal road, redevelopment everywhere. There is dust rising, there is traffic, there is wind slower than usual. Also remember, for years, Mumbai relied on the one big advantage it has, the Arabian Sea, that would sweep the pollution away. They don't have the inversion that is caused in Delhi, the basin that Delhi is. That's not the case. But in Mumbai, something shifted just in the last 6 months. And as they undergo their winter, there is a shift. Mumbai always said that at least we are not Delhi. That comfort now seems to be fading. Because Mumbai does not announce itself dramatically. It sort of settles in, right? And until one day you look up and that's the picture on your screen. The city of dreams looks hazy, looks covered completely in very, very bad air, and looks tired. There is no solution that we've heard of just yet. But let's try and understand what an average Mumbaikar, or perhaps what any Mumbaikar feels at this point. Remember, there have been political reactions to this as well, but at the moment we haven't heard very clearly in terms of what's the plan ahead, which is the case for all over the country, right? We still do not have a roadmap to finding the solution for pollution. But let's take a break from what's happening at the moment and go to somebody who's spent his entire lifetime in Mumbai. Dalip Tahil, actor and singer, here joins us on the program. Thank you so much, sir. And I see you there. Oh, wow. I see you with a mask on and you've got a wearable air purifier as well. Hard to say that this is a Mumbaikar and not a Delhi wala. Very, very hard to say that I'm talking to a Mumbai wala and not a Delhi wala at the moment. Are you facing particular troubles at the moment? What's going on?
Well, allow me to reveal myself. It is me. This is Dalip Tahil. And at the outset, let me thank you very much for calling me on your show. I absolutely, the preamble you gave, what you spoke about is absolutely true. In fact, it has come to catastrophic levels in Mumbai. I promise you that I go around with this ionizer, which is, it sort of clarifies and it removes all the pollutants around the area that you breathe. I carry a mask with me. So today when I came on to your show, it was deliberate that I put that on to tell you what the true situation in Mumbai is. Let me focus it down. I live in the suburbs, which is Khar West and Bandra. So in the 1 kilometer area from Khar to Bandra, there are about 250 properties that are being redeveloped, which means, in practical purposes, that I, like most Mumbaikars, we live in a dust bowl. And this is affecting the breathing for children, for everyone around. I mean, there's so many viral infections. People are suffering every second day. There are people down and falling ill. And you hear from them that I have a viral infection. I've had a couple of viral infections within the last 3 months. And it's got everything to do with pollution and the pollutants in the air because of the dust. If you go to your doctor, they give you nasal sprays and antihistamines to combat the dust. I mean, that is what is happening. You see that photograph of smog. That's absolutely true. I was traveling to Pune about a day back, a day and a half back, and that's exactly what it looked like on Thane Creek. So I'm telling you, this is a disaster that has already happened. I'm very sad to say this. I don't want to point fingers because I know that there's a lot of construction and the metro's being built and there's a lot of all that happening. But there has got to be a solution and a very rapid solution because, the cameraman is sitting right next to me and he's coughing away and he's sitting in my house. So it's all over the city. It's a disaster.
Yeah. Dalip, thank you. I just want to say thank you for sharing your views with us. Thank you for making that point with the mask over there. And thank you for firstly spreading the awareness. I don't think a lot of people who even care about pollution wear masks. So I'm very glad that you are actually one of those who actually wears that mask and is doing something in their capacity to do it, to prevent yourself. But I've been talking to doctors all over the country and they tell me this, that please do not be fooled by the fact that air pollution is a Delhi problem. Please do not be fooled by the fact that Delhi pollution is, or in fact, pollution on the whole is a North India problem. It is a pan-India problem. It's a 60% of the country problem. And what you're telling me actually proves that exactly to what doctors are also saying. Dalip?
Yeah.
Mr. Tahil, can you hear me?
Yeah, am I still? Yeah,
yes,
I can hear you.
Please.
So you're absolutely right. Mumbaikars for the longest of time lived under in this bubble and this false sense of complacency that we have the sea breeze and our pollution is cleaned by the sea breeze and all. That's all come to a big fat zero. Allow me to tell you that all your indexes are right. And like I said, I mean, it's a chronic situation in Bombay, not just where I live, but absolutely all over the city. There are viral infections, there are children being infected, the playgrounds, you can't breathe. I mean, to cut a long story short, you cannot breathe clean air in Bombay city anymore, or its suburbs. I mean, you need one of these. This is an ionizer that I've bought. See it? Yeah. It comes on, it's got a purple light, and I have to wear it around my neck so it clears all the pollutants in the near area of my face and nose.
Much?
It is not it's not a gadget everybody can afford because it has to be. Yeah,
Mr. Tahil, let me ask you this.
It's just out of the reach.
Yeah, let me ask you this. I have been talking about the issue of pollution for the past 1 year now. In fact, more than that, from past 1 year, more aggressively so. And we constantly talk to citizens. And what I have figured out is that because pollution is not a one person's problem, it becomes no person's problem. For example, there are various reasons. There is construction, there is vehicular pollution, there is industry, there is this and that. There are so many industries and stakeholders involved that nobody is taking the first step to finding any solution at all. For people like you, who do you think should take the lead and find out the problem? Get a fix on the solution. Who do you think should take the lead on this?
Well, it's a social problem, which makes it of political concern. Most definitely, the government of Maharashtra has to address this on a war footing. These are the people in Maharashtra. This is your public. These are the people who you're supposed to protect. Absolutely, the blame lies squarely on the government that is supposed to solve these issues. That even if you are constructing, you have to do it in a manner in which you understand that the pollution levels will be of a certain thing. Also, it is up to, I always believe that it's not only the government's responsibility, it's also up to responsibility of each citizen to take precautions. But what can you do as a citizen? I mean, every day I see advertisements. There are hundreds of cars coming onto the street, new cars coming onto the street. There's no place to park in Bombay. If you have a little bit of money in your pocket, I have to hire a driver just to park my car in Bombay. There's no parking. There are hundreds of cars. There are cars lying around. It's a complete mess. And if you ask me who's responsible, if it has to come to one single person, it's got to be the government of the state. Who else is going to take responsibility? You are the person who we pay the taxes to. You are the people we rely on to have a quality of life. And if you can't provide it, then it's sadly lacking. I mean, I'm sorry. I know that all this construction should have come 30 years ago. It's all 35 years late in Mumbai. I've grown up in Mumbai. This has all happened under my nose. So I know that all these metros and things should have come 25 years ago. But having said that, the problem is that at the moment, there just seems to be no relief. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's just a terrible situation.
Mr. Tahil, you're not alone. You
the truth.
Echo the voice. You echo the voice of every person in Mumbai. You echo the voice of Delhiites like us who've been screaming and wanting to address this issue of pollution for so long. But thank you so much for bringing your voice forward, and thank you for voicing your opinion as well.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Yeah. Thank you for giving me this opportunity and allowing me to express my views as a Mumbaiker. I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, some breaking news coming in. In the topless protest saga at the AI summit, 2 more accused have now been arrested. That takes the total number of arrests to 7 so far. Remember, this entire protest is not just about those people who reached the Youth Congress protesters who reached the AI summit for this protest, but a lot of political bickering that followed as well. The Prime Minister also has responded, so has the Congress party. And now it seems like more arrests have been made in the matter. 2 more, like we said, have been taken in by the police. Arvind Ojha joins us on the phone line for more. Arvind, ये कौन से 2 और लोग हैं जिनको उठाया गया, उनके बारे में थोड़ी जानकारी दीजिए।
देखिए, ये अजय कुमार विमल है, जिसे दिल्ली पुलिस ने कल देर रात करके जो भिंड मुरैना है वहां से, मध्य प्रदेश में, वहां से अरेस्ट किया है। ये एक्स डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाइस प्रेसिडेंट है इंडियन यूथ कांग्रेस का, भिंड से इसको अरेस्ट किया है। जो दूसरी अरेस्टिंग हुई है वो राजा गुर्जर है, जो झांसी का रहने वाला है। ये इसको ग्वालियर से अरेस्ट किया है। ये डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रेसिडेंट है इंडियन यूथ कांग्रेस का। 2 अरेस्टिंग अब तक हुई है। कुल मिलाकर अब तक इस मामले में 7 लोगों को गिरफ्तार किया है दिल्ली पुलिस ने, और साथ ही साथ जो इंडियन यूथ नेशनल कांग्रेस के जो प्रेसिडेंट हैं उनसे अभी पूछताछ दिल्ली पुलिस की टीम कर रही है। तो कुल मिलाकर इस मामले में जो एआई समिट में प्रोटेस्ट किया था इंडियन यूथ कांग्रेस ने, उसमें अब तक कुल मिलाकर 7 लोगों को गिरफ्तार किया जा चुका है। 2 गिरफ्तारी अभी दिल्ली पुलिस ने डिक्लेयर की है। जी
Ji, Arvind Ojha there bringing us up to speed with all the latest there. On to some more updates coming in. Prime Minister Modi is set to inaugurate the Noida International Airport, set to be India's biggest airport, and the date is now set for next month. And this announcement has not come from the centre, mind you. This announcement has been made by Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. Yogi Adityanath, as we know at the moment, is on a tour of Singapore and Japan, where in a statement he said that UP has the highest number of airports and Prime Minister Modi will be inaugurating India's largest airport in Noida. That's been the statement made by UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath in Singapore.
रेल का सबसे बड़ा नेटवर्क उत्तर प्रदेश के पास है। भारत के अंदर सबसे ज्यादा सिटी में मेट्रो पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट की सेवा उत्तर प्रदेश के पास है और भारत के अंदर सबसे ज्यादा एयरपोर्ट भी आज उत्तर प्रदेश के पास हैं। और अभी अगले ही महीने प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के कर कमलों से उत्तर प्रदेश का नोएडा इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट जेवर, ये जो भारत का सबसे बड़ा एयरपोर्ट बनने जा रहा है, उसका उद्घाटन भी प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के कर कमलों से होने जा रहा है।
My colleague Samarth Srivastava joins us for more on this. Samarth, this information has not come from the centre, has not come from the airport authority either. This has been a statement made by Yogi Adityanath in Singapore. Do we have a confirmation and perhaps any understanding of what the dates could also be looking like?
See, Sonam, this is one of the projects which has been close to the heart of CM Yogi Adityanath, and we have been seeing that many times he has also visited for the review purpose, and even the officers who are involved in this particular case have also been assigned the task in a way to move there, to in a way look after that particular situation, what actually is happening right over there. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath himself is in Singapore, and then he'll be moving to Japan for the investment purpose. It's also another news which is making the rounds on social media as well, because he himself has gone there. And now with that particular update with Yogi Adityanath himself announcing that Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi will be inaugurating Tajeba Airport next month, it's a good news for the people, not just from the NCR Noida, but also from those who struggle through the Delhi traffic, especially when you reach the Delhi airport and you have to move to Noida. And if you have come to the flight, there is no other option, because you have to come to the Delhi airport for traveling to Noida or Gurgaon or any other thing. And then now the people who stay in Noida, they'll have an option to book their flights directly to Noida. They don't have to go directly to the Delhi airport. So it will be a big sigh of relief for those people from Delhi especially, who in a way go through this particular traffic situation around the airport on a regular basis. Back to you.
In fact, a couple of months ago, we did see a trial Indigo flight land there. So we thought that the preparations were near, but this news sort of confirms the date of that. But Samarth, stay on with us, because I want to bring in a perspective on this story. Now, you just saw the story over there, like while the UP government has plans to inaugurate the much-hailed Jewar airport, the existing high-profile airports, the one that Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is boasting about in Singapore, they have also come under the scanner. The existing high-profile airports across the state have been left deserted. They were touted as aviation hubs, which would redefine air travel in India. But what it has turned out to be that they have become ghost airports. No takers for those airports. 7 airports were started, much fanfare as well, under the centre's flagship Udaan scheme. But under, just about several years down the line, multiple airports in UP, 6 out of the 7 airports that have been inaugurated see no passengers and no flights as well. So what's exactly happening? Where was the money spent? Why was a strategic decision taken to put airports and to get them started in areas like these when there are no takers? This is a detailed, eye-opening report.
BJP's double-engine government could be in the dock. What started as a new era of aviation in Uttar Pradesh has sadly been grounded. Here is a stunning RTI reveal exposed in reply from the Airports Authority of India. The RTI input reveals that out of the 7 brand new airports in the state which started commercial flights in 2021, 6 of them no longer run flights. Only the Ayodhya airport remains viable for flights. India Today has highlighted the situation in Azamgarh, Aligarh, Moradabad, Kushinagar and Chitrakoot airports. Hundreds of crores spent on these airports to boost regional connectivity in waste as these airports stand as mere showpieces. Inaugurated in March 2024, the airport operations were shut down abruptly. Airline operators withdrew due to technical objections and low visibility requirements. Now, only non-scheduled and chartered flights are operational at the airport. The Aligarh airport was upgraded under the Udaan scheme with over 100 crores, is now unable to attract major airline operators. The airport remains non-operational for commercial flights since April 2025. Now this airport is primarily being used for training.
19 दिसंबर 2024 को बंद कर दिया गया था। उसके बाद से स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ आम आदमी के लिए। केवल ट्रेनिंग पर्पस से जो वहाँ पे ट्रेनिंग दिया जाता है वही अभी चल रहा है।
Touted as a game changer for the brass industry, regular flights to Moradabad airport lasted only a few months. Traders now wait for the promised connectivity that remains stuck on the ground.
व्यापारिक दृष्टि से मुरादाबाद एक्सपोर्ट हब है, तो यहाँ से व्यापारियों के लिए बहुत बड़ी सहूलियत थी कि यहाँ से एयरपोर्ट शुरू हो गया था, लेकिन उसके बाद अब फ्लाइट्स ना मिल पाने की वजह से कहीं ना कहीं व्यापार को भी इसमें बड़ा दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ रहा है।
Launched in 2021 to link Buddhist pilgrimage sites, operations shut down shortly after the launch.
एयरपोर्ट बंद होने के कारण से बहुत से जो श्रद्धालु हैं वो कुशीनगर नहीं आ पाते क्योंकि उनके पास विकल्प की कोई व्यवस्था नहीं है।
Despite the high-profile inauguration by the Yogi government to boost regional connectivity in Bundelkhand, the Chitrakoot airport remains non-functional for commercial travel for the past 14 months. The grounded airports have sparked a political blame game.
ये इन्होंने केवल अपने आंकड़े प्रस्तुत करने के लिए जल्दबाजी में इन्होंने एयरपोर्ट्स प्राइवेट बना दिए। बहुत अच्छा प्रस्ताव, बहुत अच्छा था। एयरपोर्ट्स बनते, उत्तर प्रदेश की बेहतर कनेक्टिविटी होती, पर सरकार के पास कोई रोड मैप नहीं था।
So has the centre's much touted Udaan scheme, which aims to fly the Aam Aadmi, been grounded when it comes to Uttar Pradesh?
Though when we spoke to the airport authorities from the district magistrates from the district levels, they clarified there are some technical problems, or some said that the operations will be beginning very soon. But the question is, the taxpayers' money which is being spent in the construction of these airports, making tall claims, is it a lie or what? With cameraman Gaurav Gupta, Samarth Srivastava for India Today.
All right, let's cut across to Samarth Srivastava now for more on this. Samarth, 7 airports we looked at. This is an RTI that was filed by a colleague of ours here at India Today. And what we found was that 6 of them now do not function anymore. After having spent crores and crores on building these airports, they are just not functional because A, there is no footfall, and when, as your story indicates, the footfall is not happening because there isn't enough connectivity either. So at the moment, I'm trying to think of even a place like Moradabad, such an import-export hub. Moradabad, and we know of so many people from Moradabad who fly into Delhi constantly to take their flights. So what exactly happened here? What is the ground sense that you're picking up of why there wasn't enough footfall at these places?
See, it's a big drawback what happened with the public of these districts especially. They were shown dreams, made tall claims by the government, but nothing happened on the ground, because we see in our ground report we have covered almost 5 to 6 districts including Azamgarh, Chitrakoot, Shravasti, Kushinagar, Aligarh, Moradabad, and all of these districts have one thing very common. Number one was the footfall. The footfall of the passengers were low. Secondly, many had some technical issues, technical glitches, while some are still operational for the VIP flights or some chopper flights, for some VIP movement, but there isn't any passenger flight moving across from those particular airports. And when such announcements were made, tall claims were made by the government, it was clearly said that yes, it will be the backbone of Moradabad, it will be the backbone of Azamgarh, because Azamgarh, if you talk about, it's the region in Purvanchal, and apart from Varanasi, there isn't any much airport, Prayagraj, so Purvanchal comes around Azamgarh, and that could have been a big backbone for that particular district as well. But if you talk about Moradabad, that you were referring here, is a big hub for the trade. If the airport was running, that could have been a major gain for the district. At a time when government talks about ODOP, one district, one product, these airports, if functional, could have been a major gain situation for those particular districts. So India Today report clearly says the infrastructure is well made, the preparations were well made, and the entire thing was good. But what was not operational was the flight. What was not there for the footfall. What was not there was the planning. And that's why these airports are suffering despite having a great infrastructure, having a lot of money invested in those airports, having crores of money, the taxpayers' money, but nothing on the ground, no flights whatsoever, no passengers whatsoever, and no trade whatsoever. Back to you.
But this is not the complete picture. Let's bring our audiences up to speed with another aspect of what's unfolding in UP. Let's talk about the other big picture. Governance versus grandstanding, development versus dialogue delivery. From Singapore, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is pitching for the Uttar Pradesh's growth story, talking about the UP model on a world stage. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath met with Singapore's Prime Minister, calling the talks a huge step in accelerating infrastructure growth. He also lauded, the UP model beyond India's borders, turning global partnerships into ground reality back home. But you saw what that ground reality really is. Before we get into the details of the story and bring you another ground reality from Uttar Pradesh, listen in to what Yogi Adityanath actually had to say in Singapore.
भारत की सबसे बड़ी आबादी का राज्य है उत्तर प्रदेश। उत्तर प्रदेश आज से 9 वर्ष पहले क्या था? अव्यवस्था की स्थिति थी, दंगे, असुरक्षा, अव्यवस्था, अराजकता, ये वहां की पहचान बन गई थी। और पिछले 9 वर्ष के अंदर प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के विजनरी लीडरशिप में आज आपने देखा होगा उत्तर प्रदेश जो भारत की आत्मा का प्रदेश है, आज वह उत्तर प्रदेश उस विजन को जमीनी धरातल पर उतार रहा है। विरासत और विकास का एक अद्भुत संगम वहां देखने को आपको मिलता होगा।
But let's take a reality check on what really is happening back home in Uttar Pradesh. In Fatehpur, BJP MLA Krishna Paswan has exposed her own government by digging up an under construction road with a shovel. Look at that visual over there. The MLA alleges that due to collusion between sort of public works department officials and the contractor, substandard materials are being used for road construction, causing the road to crumble as soon as it is built. Reminding you again over here, this is a BJP MLA who's showing the mirror to her own government. So the message is sharp and clear. On the other hand, it was not just this place. At another place, you look at that visual over there, there is a man who's able to take out the entire road with his own hands, the newly constructed road from his own hands, exposing again the reality of what's going on in Uttar Pradesh at quite a contrast to what the Chief Minister is boasting about on a global stage in Singapore. Look at those visuals. Onto a story that is warming several hearts on the internet at least. And if you haven't heard this one, you'll surely take this to bed tonight with you. From abandonment to internet sensation, the baby macaque in Japan is winning hearts worldwide. Why? because he was rejected by his mother. And then the tiny monkey found comfort in a stuffed toy that now never leaves his side. Now viral across platform, this story is the one for healing, resilience, and also of unexpected hope. Take a look.
A tiny Japanese macaque is melting hearts across the internet. Punch, a 6 to 7 month old Japanese macaque at Ichikawa City Zoo in Japan, has become a global internet sensation. Born at a zoo in Japan, but abandoned by his mother soon after birth. Left alone in his enclosure, the baby monkey struggled to cope. Then came an unusual solution. Zookeepers handed Punch a large stuffed orangutan toy and he held on. He hugged it, dragged it, slept with it. That plush toy became his comfort, security, and even family. Videos of Punch refusing to let go of his stuffed companion have now gone viral, clocking millions of views across various platforms. Visitors are lining up just to see the tiny macaque and his oversized best friend. From abandoned newborn to global internet star. Punch's story didn't just win hearts online, it sparked action in real world too. The president of IKEA Japan donating a large number of stuffed toys. For all other animals who may need comfort too, a simple toy becomes a symbol of love. His early attempts to bond with other monkeys weren't easy, but slowly, gently, he's being accepted into the troop. No mother's embrace, no familiar comfort, just a plush toy standing in for the love he lost. Sometimes, healing doesn't begin with words. Sometimes, it begins with a hug. And for Punch, that hug just happened to be stuffed. Bureau Report, India Today.